Councilman Brown?
I'm going to need probably like an extra, like 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, please.
Okay, after the 5 minutes, I'll call you and you
Thank
ask
you.
for additional, please.
So I'm chairman of the Recreation Department. I'm going to go over that more next month due to my time being limited. But I do want to let residents know is that recreation, if you looked over the last couple of years, there haven't been as many programs as there are now this year. The focus, again, and we haven't heard it yet here, is on youth and seniors. Something going back to the basics here in Linden, which I think is important. One of the things I see is we see seniors and we forget about they've lost their spouses or lost family members who don't live here, and getting them back engaged and active in the community. They're a population that I think, have lost sight of that we need to go back, as well as with the youth. From the Finance Department, approval is requested for the following finance actions. The payment of bills totaling $1,558,855.47. Bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, Finance Chairman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the clerk's office. Item number 2, we are in receipts of investments made by the City Treasurer for the month of April at the rate of 2.75%. I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby?
No.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Coates?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Yes. Quickly, I want to address 2 issues, or there's multiple issues, but 2 pressing issues of false information that's been put out there. We had a budget presentation about 2 months ago, and like I've always said, our financial information is online. You can ask myself, the treasurer, mayor's office, clerk's office for any misinformation. The first piece is something that came out today to recognize that crime is too high. I take offense to that because over the last couple of years, we've hired 52 police officers. And we have police officers here that unfortunately have to stay here because of what's going on at the council meeting that could be out in the streets. Crime is not increasing in this town. We've been addressing, giving the police department the tools and resources, and we have some of the best police officers in the county. And I just simply ask that if anyone has a question in regards to crime, the police chief, who's one of the best police chiefs I've worked with, you can ask him. The second issue is in regards to street paving and engineering. That's false information. Over the last couple of years, we've actually increased street paving. That has been one of the priorities because, and both the engineer and treasurer could confirm this, we've wanted to reinvest more into our infrastructure projects to take advantage of the low debt that's been out there. As everyone followed the Fed fund rates and things of this nature, it's been somewhat stable, and over the last couple of months, we've set an inverted curve. And this is part of the process of rebuilding Linden. And if you see some of the infrastructure projects, this is not fictitious, these are facts. And I don't know if I can just borrow a little bit of my time if Alexis can explain what happened with that little bump with the last year.
Councilman Brown, I will allow that since this is city business on information on road pavement.
The capital budget for street resurfacing last year had a certain requested number, and the information that we talked about were increased because of 2 grants. We had received 2 local freight impact structure grants, and we also had a significant amount of capital funds dedicated for street resurfacing. This year's capital budget in 2019, Engineering Department requested $2.2 million, and the committee gave them $2.2 million. We also applied this year for the local freight impact structure grant again, and we have not received that grant yet. We did apply for it, and again, that should be, if they award it to us, well, I believe we requested over $1 million for that grant as well. Since 2014, our capital funds that we've appropriated for street resurfacing has increased well over $2 million each year. Prior to that, we had budgeted roughly about $1.3 million for infrastructure, roads, and improvements.
Thank you. And last, I just want to touch on this. A lot of people know that I'm not running for the 3rd Ward, and actually, I'm going to read you parts of an article from last year and see how it applies this year. In there, I quoted that I don't like the direction of a certain individual because of the negative campaigns that were been based off of negative emotions, and that I felt was going to build a lot of resentment. Also, I sat down with that individual and talked about how the direction that the
Councilman,
city... I'm sorry,
No, political.
just 2 more minutes. The direction of the city was going to head into a nuclear war.
Councilman, we're not doing political.
All right.
Okay.
But why am I making this point? My point is this. If we look on the wall here, all these mayors who've been here before us and council members who've come and go here, the city of Linden is still going to be here. And a lot of this rhetoric and this hate that's going around doesn't help the city. This is, and it goes on both sides, this, that,
No disruptions from the public, please. Mr. Kazar, you're out of order.
but nevertheless,
You're out of order, sir. This is the second time I'm warning you.
I'm only have this. We have
Please
40.
go ahead, Mr.
I'm finished.
Brown.
We have 43,000 residents in the city of Linden here. 43,000, and that number is growing. We have a mixture of seniors. We have a mixture of youth. We are a diverse community that has been progressing. But a lot of this hate that has filtered from here has filtered out to the public. And when people are dropping F-bombs and cursing at each other and things like this, Linden is better than that. And it starts, yes, here, but it also starts out in the public. And I'm going to leave it at this, is that
Councilman.
while I've been hit for years on council here, I've learned not to respond to a letter of the rhetoric.
Councilman Roman, you had your chance to speak. It's Councilman Brown's turn. You are out of order. Mr. Kaiser. Councilman Roman. I guess you would know a lie if you saw one.
Council
Councilman
President.
Brown, please.
Council
Council-
President, if I may.
Yes, Mr.
You have called
Antonelli.
Mr. Kaiser out,
I
according to
called-
my recollection, more than once. And I would suggest if you call him out again, he is to be removed from the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Antonelli.
I'm
Mr.
gonna-
Brown,
yes,
please
I'm just gonna-
continue. You are out of time. You need to request.
I'm just going to end it with this. Guys, the city of Linden is a great city. We've went through all these mayors, all these council people. After a month from now, a lot of this stuff is going to be forgotten. The city's going to still move forward. What message are we sending to our children, to our youth? And I'm just going to end it at that.
Thank you, Councilman Brown.